Learn to fight. Yo, John Fitch here, and I have another wonderful episode of Learn to Fight for you. And this is a feel-good. This is a feel-good one. This is a great example of why parents need to get their kids into jiu-jitsu. You really do. You can bitch and moan and complain all you want to about the impracticality of going to the ground in a street fight, whatever. I don't care. Chances are it's going to help you way more than it's going to hurt you. Plain and simple. It's going to help you way, way, way more than it's going to hurt you. To know that stuff rather than not knowing that stuff, you're better off. In this scenario, we have a little kid getting picked on by a much larger kid, noticeably much larger kid. This kid's probably 2-3 years older than the other kid. The smaller kid continually tries to get away, tries to flee, tries to escape the situation, tries to get away from the bully. The bully won't let him. Keeps pushing him around, and wisely, this is good. This is like a great example. I'm loving this video. This kid understands that, okay, I tried to flee, I can't. I don't have the option of running anymore. I don't have the option of leaving. I have to go hands-on. It's time to close the distance, force the clinch. And this is exactly what the smaller kid does. Smaller kid forces clinch. He forces his way into a standing double leg position, right? He hits the double leg on the street, on concrete, without touching a knee, takes the kid down. Before he hits the ground, he transitions quickly to the back, and then doesn't throw hooks, doesn't commit himself to the back, floats around on the back until the kid moves, and then he transitions to the throat, right on a choke. This is an unbelievably beautiful display of not just jiu-jitsu, but this kid's application of jiu-jitsu on the street. Knowing the difference between sport on the mats jiu-jitsu versus self-defense street jiu-jitsu. Huge difference. This kid gets it. Let's watch this, and you guys will be impressed. Starting off, you can see the bigger kid pushing the smaller kid, slapping him hand, pushing his hands, pushing him. The kid's trying to keep his distance, trying to get away. The big kid won't let him. He's getting in his way, won't let him leave. Pushes him. Kid's like, okay, it's time to go hands-on. Ducks underneath, hits the double. Transitions to the back. Doesn't throw hooks in, just attacks the neck. Kid tries to stand up. He's still got the choke on, staying on the back. He's got the back behind him. He's in a position where he can look. He can see the horizon. He can see what's behind him. The wall's on his back, so he knows nobody's coming behind him. You could say it's an accident, but I don't know. This kid looked like this is probably not the first time this kid's had to defend himself in the street. This is really good. I do have some problems with committing to the hooks on the back sometimes, because with much bigger people, they can roll, they can spin. If you're on concrete, bad things can happen. I think what this kid did was correct. He floated around on the back. You see him here. Gets the double, transitions quickly to the back, doesn't touch a knee, gets on the throat right away. Right? He doesn't have to throw the hooks first. He's just on the throat. He stays on the hook. He floats around. Yeah, there's much less chance of that kid slamming him and hurting him in that scenario. If he loses the position, he can always cut through and create space and get out of there. Starting this over again. I will have to also make the point that there still is danger. Right? This kid did a great job. The kids that came over at the end to break it up, luckily were either friends or looking out or good Samaritans on some level with the kid with no shirt on, the smaller kid, because they could have come up and beat him up. If they were friends with the big kid, if they were friends with the bully, he could have been in some trouble. You know, in that scenario, if you had people running up on you aggressively, that's the time to let go and move away and get the hell out of there. You know, before they put hands on you, because this could turn ugly. At this point, it could turn ugly for the little kid, because, you know, if he's starting to get beat up while his hands are committed on a choke. But this is pretty great display from this little guy. Okay, they're on the street. This is a street fight, right? This is self-defense. The little kid wants to get away. He's trying to get away. Boom, ducks. Turns the double leg into a little duck under to the back, right on the choke right away. Starts choking him. Readjust, stays on the back, stays in a position where he could disconnect and get away rather than throwing the hooks in and fully committed himself. I really love what this kid did here. This is great. Get your kids into training, man. Get your kids into jiu-jitsu. Let them understand and learn this stuff. And a lot of you guys who teach jiu-jitsu, a lot of you guys who are black belts and people who run schools and teach classes, you have to differentiate between self-defense jiu-jitsu and competition jiu-jitsu, right? If this kid pulls guard and rolls underneath for a leg lock, I don't know if that's very applicable. Yes, they work. They can work. But you can also get punted. You can also get punted. You also get kicked in the head. You know, we don't allow strikes to the head on the ground in MMA or jiu-jitsu. So, you know, when you have two guys, you have two arms on one leg, but there's a free leg, like that free leg can kick. There is opportunities to get that heel to the head. It is possible. You can also stomp on their head when they're upside down trying to grab at your leg. There's a lot of things you can do to mess that up. So I think this kid applied the correct techniques and the correct sequences to come out on top. And he did it all without throwing a single punch. Let's watch this one last time because it is so beautiful. This is a chef's kiss. Get your kids in jiu-jitsu, people. Much larger kid, bullying in this other kid, throwing him around. Nobody's around to help. He's trying to get away. Kid won't let him. Third time he tries to get away, boop, he ducks. See you, sucker. On your back. You should have let me go. There's the choke. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. So on that choke, good. The other kids come to break it up. Once again, got to be careful. Got to be careful. Those guys might not have been his friends. They might have been enemies. And again, I guess I lied one last time. So it is. It's beautiful. You know the guys love this. This little guy getting picked on. Right? He doesn't go straight to fighting. He doesn't go straight to throwing hands. He tries to get away. And then when the guy doesn't let him go, he's like, all right, man. I warned you. Should have just let me be. This is good stuff. It's good stuff. And then the other kids come and break it up. Absolutely beautiful exhibition of skills by that kid. I believe he used jiu-jitsu in a proper context. He kept it street jiu-jitsu and he didn't go to competition jiu-jitsu. I think there's a huge difference in those things. And this kid, this is an awesome display. It's an awesome display of street jiu-jitsu. You know, he used the techniques to stay in superior positions without putting himself at risk, even the risk of multiple attackers. He was in a good position where he could have disconnected and could have still defended himself through that scenario. I really like what the kid did here. You guys can clearly see, jiu-jitsu works. Jiu-jitsu works. Jiu-jitsu works in a street fight, okay? I think it's very important that you separate the differences between sport jiu-jitsu and street jiu-jitsu. Self-defense jiu-jitsu, much different. I think a lot of people have difficulty separating the two. They think it's always the same thing. They always want to think, oh, pajamas, oh yeah, rolling around in pajamas, that's going to defend you. No, there are ways to use the same techniques in a much safer street situation and still dominate opponents, still dominate your attacker. And this is awesome to see because it's a much smaller kid beating up and taking care of a bully, a big bully, an older bully. So if you got kids, man, get them into some kind of jiu-jitsu, get them some confidence. But be sure to teach them, like this kid, man, leave. Your first responsibility is to get out of there. You got some older, bigger kid pushing on you, trying to get you to do stuff you don't want to do. Just get out. Say, I'm going to go back to my parents. I'm out of here. I'm going. If they don't let you, if they get into your personal space, if they cross the line, it's time to go to work. And when I say go to work, it's got to be appropriate use of force. I believe this kid had everything down good. I think his use of force was absolutely appropriate. I don't think, he didn't elbow him in the face and stomp his head for a bunch of times. He just got to a dominant position and was able to subdue the guy. Beautiful. I like it. I like it. Congrats, little guy. It's very inspiring. I hope you guys out there watching this, okay, this little kid is able to do some big things to this older, bigger kid because he knows how to fight. He has fighting skills. He gets it. All right? Don't be sitting on the sideline, guys. It'll be too late by the time something happens. Get yourself to a gym. Start training. Check out the programs I have below. You have no excuse. Get a group of friends together. You can the programs that I have, intro to practical self-defense and the practical self-defense, you can train those in the park together. You don't need a fancy gym and a lot of money. Pool some money together. Get 4 of you together. Pool the money together. Buy the program. Share it and train together. Do it. Be safe. Let's go. We got no excuses. This little kid is showing you up. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Hope that was insightful, inspiring, and very educational for you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Like I said, make sure you're checking out the programs I have in the description below. And I'll check you later.